Good evening, friends from Germany, friends from India. My special welcome to Cabinet colleague, Senior Cabinet colleague, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia ji, Indian Ambassador to Germany, Shri Ajit Gupte ji, senior officials from Government of Baden-Württemberg, and friends from the industry. On behalf of my country, India, I extend my warmest wishes to the people of Germany and the government of Germany. Friends, it is indeed an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the enduring partnership between India and Germany. Our partnership is deeply rooted in shared values, particularly our commitment to democracy and sustainable development. We share a common passion for clean growth and sustainable development. Friends, as we stand today, we are living through one of the most transformative phases of the 21st century. In the last 5 years, the world has seen 3 major events which are like once in a century. We had a major pandemic and we had 2 major geopolitical conflicts. More than that, 2024 is the year in which the world, the democratic world, is seeing elections across the globe. Close to 60 countries are holding elections. I would like to make my presentation in the context of the democratic world, the elections, the changing geopolitical scenario. Friends, we also had an election just about 6 months back. This election, if you look at the numbers, we had 968 million voters, 968 million. 750 political parties and more than 1 million polling booths. It's the largest election ever conducted in the human history. And believe you me, the pace of digitalization, the way we have digitalized the entire election, on 4th June, the election results were out in just about 5 hours. For such a massive exercise. What's important is that our ruling coalition, the National Democratic Alliance, in which the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, is the biggest constituent, that was re-elected for the 3rd time consecutively. And this kind of thing has happened only once in 6 decades in India. In a democracy as vibrant as Indian democracy is, getting re-elected for the 3rd term shows the confidence that the people have in the policies, in the work, in the way these policies were executed by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, whom you are going to hear tomorrow. India voted for stability and continuity. The electoral success is basically an endorsement of the 10 years of transformative change. 10 years ago, when Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji took the responsibility for governing the country, for leading the country, India was the 10th largest economy in terms of GDP. At that time, Indian economy was frequently referred as one of the fragile 5 economies. Public confidence in institutions was low. There was an overall negative outlook in the country. Today, just in a decade, we are already the 5th largest economy in terms of GDP. And by the end of this decade, by 2030, we would be the 3rd largest economy in the world. We are today the fastest growing major economy, and very consistently, I can say with 95% confidence interval, that we are going to continue to grow in the 6 to 8% growth band over the next many years. Inflation is under control. 4 to 6% is the inflation. In our economy, 4 to 6% is the target that we have kept. What's more important is the central government's balance sheet is a very healthy balance sheet. Compared to the rich world, which spent more on consumption as a response to the pandemic, India focused on investment. So we today have a balance sheet which is a very healthy balance sheet. The central government's debt is just about 57% of the GDP. And it's a very balanced kind of growth in the debt where the GDP growth rate is higher than the growth rate of the debt. What I want to share with all of you is the thought process behind this. The success that we are seeing today is not a coincidence. This is the result of a clear, well thought out strategy, meticulously executed by the government of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. Let me explain the 4 pillars of this growth strategy. First pillar of this strategy is public investment in physical, social, and digital infrastructure. The second pillar is a large number of inclusive growth programs. The third pillar is big focus on manufacturing and innovation. And the fourth pillar is massive simplification in our legal and compliance structures. I will now discuss in brief all the 4 pillars one by one. I'll come to the first pillar. And I'm sure we are having a debate in Germany at this point of time, whether we should be doing public investment or we should be looking at a different strategy. We in India have a very clear strategy of doing public investment in all the 3 major infrastructure, which I say as physical, social, and digital. Over the past decade, we have significantly increased our public investment from about 36 billion euros in 2014. Today, we are now investing about 127 billion euros. In the rail sector itself, which is one of my responsibilities, last year we invested 29 billion US dollars, and this year our capex is 30 billion US dollars. And we are already 64% of the capex here in the month of November. So that's the pace, that's the scale, that's the way, that's the precision with which we are adding infrastructure to our economy. We have constructed 54,000 kilometers of national highways in the last 10 years. We have built 84 new airports, and Minister Scindia was in charge of building the airports. We have added 31,000 kilometers of new railway tracks. That's practically the size of entire German railway network. We have electrified 44,000 kilometers of railway networks in the last 10 years, which is more than Germany plus Switzerland and Belgium combined. In a sense, whether it is railway, ports, airports, highways, the entire gamut of physical infrastructure has seen a massive growth in the last 10 years. I'll come to the digital infrastructure because we live in an age where digitalization is a key part of our economy. 10 years ago, our Prime Minister gave a very clear vision that we must have a digital policy, a digital program where technology is democratized. It should not be in the hands of a few big tech. It should be accessible to everybody. It should be open. It should have open standards. It should have common standards. It should be available to startups, to academia, to common people. And that created, that thought, that vision created the Digital India program, in which today we have solution after solution where the basic tenets of democratizing technology are followed, and we have solutions at a population scale. Today, India has 1.2 billion telecom subscribers, 600 million plus smartphone users, and we have what we call DPI, Digital Public Infrastructure, in which we have created individual constructs, for example, digital identity, for example, digital document system, for example, digital payment system. Each of these systems are very powerful in themselves, but when combined together, they have a potential of solving population scale problems in a very effective way. For example, the payment system that we follow, it's called the UPI. That payment system today serves about 400 million users, processing almost 17 billion transactions a month, and annual transaction value is 2.8 trillion euros. What's important is the settlement time for funds to get transferred from one account to another is consistently less than 2 seconds. Consistently less than 2 seconds. It is today operational in 7 countries, and my good friend, Minister for Digital Economy, recently when he visited visited India in G20, he firsthand tried, Dr. Vaishnav, he firsthand tried the UPI, and he was so impressed with the system. Japan has given a patent to this system, and many countries are now adopting this. I'll come to the social infrastructure because that is as important as physical and digital. In the last 1 decade, we have opened 446 new universities. That is like opening a university 1 a week. That's very, very important because human resource forms the core of our philosophy. We have more than doubled the number of prestigious institutions, the IIT system, which you have heard of, the IIMs and the top medical colleges, from 68 to 149, which is more than double the number. We have doubled the number of seats in practically every sector, whether it is medical colleges, whether it is the ITIs, whether it is the diploma colleges. At every level, we have more than doubled the number of seats. Friends, this was the first pillar of our growth strategy. It's a very well thought through, very well executed. The second pillar of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji's growth strategy is inclusive growth. We are a country with a lot of diversity. We are a country where incomes can vary from very low incomes to very high incomes. So it's very important that in a society like this, we take care of the people at the bottom of the pyramid. So our Prime Minister took very focused measures, very clearly defined measures which transform the lives of the people at the bottom of the pyramid. I'll share some numbers with you. In 10 years, we opened 540 million bank accounts. That's more than the population of whole of Europe. 540 million bank accounts. So that many people got into the formal banking system. Imagine the power that comes with it. Savings, access to credit, access to so many other ways of growing your own business, growing your economic activities. We have a public housing program in which we have built 40 million houses for the poor families. We have given free cooking gas connections. Imagine changing the habits from wooden stove to a cooking gas-based cooking for 100 million families. 100 million families in 10 years. We have constructed toilets in about, again, 100 million homes. 140 million homes. And this is something that we are continuing. Very recently, just about a couple of months back, the government approved construction of 30 million more houses. Our healthcare program now covers 350 million citizens, and we have recently announced free healthcare for all the citizens above the age of 70 years. This is a humongous program. Nowhere in the human history has been a program for inclusive growth of this magnitude in such a short period of time. And the result is amazing. 250 million people have come out of poverty in just 10 years. This is something which has not been seen any other country at any period of time. This is what we mean by real inclusive growth, growth that truly reaches the people. That was the second pillar of our growth strategy. The third pillar is manufacturing and innovation. India has long been seen as a services economy. However, through the initiatives like Make in India and Startup India, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has today created a vibrant manufacturing and innovation ecosystem. So the third pillar of our growth strategy is the focus on manufacturing and innovation. Decade ago, when we talked of startups in India, we couldn't count more than about 300 or 400 startups. Today we have more than 150,000 startups in the country, and more than 100 unicorns, which is more than probably a large continent. That's the number of unicorns we have in our country. Mobile manufacturing grew from 2 billion euros to close to 50 billion euros now. Millions of jobs are created. The same is the story with telecom gear, with defense equipment, with automobile growth, with practically every sector, chemicals, with textiles. Every sector growth in manufacturing is seen as one of the major planks of the last 10 years. In our innovation strategy, we have also developed many new products. We recently completed the development of 4G and 5G telecom stack in the country, and Minister Scindia will speak about it. We completed the development of semi-high-speed Vande Bharat trains. Close to about 90 trains are running today, very successfully. Today I traveled from Munich to Stuttgart in the ICE train, and I was measuring many of the parameters, including acceleration, including the noise level in the train, including the vibration level. And I'm very happy to share with you that on most of the parameters, Vande Bharat would stand as an equal to the ICE train. So we have started working on the semiconductor industry, and this is, as you know, we have a very vibrant design ecosystem, but now we have started into the manufacturing of semiconductors, and within a short time frame of 2 years, today we have 5 projects on which the construction is going on, and about 70 billion euro investment will be done. Friends, that's the third pillar, and the fourth and last pillar of this entire growth strategy is simplification of laws. We inherited a colonial era government framework when we got independent from the British rule in 1947. For first 50-60 years, a large part of the colonial system was carried on just like that. Our Prime Minister took up a mission called Minimum Government, Maximum Governance, and Freedom from the Colonial Mindset. So these two programs helped us remove more than 1,500 laws, archaic laws, from the statute book. I mean, cleaning up of this massive size was a very difficult task, but the Parliament supported, and we carried through this entire system. We also removed about 40,000 unnecessary compliances. There is a whole series of new legislations, whether it is in the telecom sector, digital sector, that is in tune with the way people think, and it makes a difference in people's lives at all the strata and all sectors. Then the politics works for us, economics works for us. To my friends in Germany, I would say that we have all witnessed a shift in the global supply chains. We have seen the impact of pandemic. Practically every industry has seen it. We in India offer you trust, talent, and stability. We are a country which believes in democracy. We are a country which respects IP rights. We are a country which is open-minded, which is always believing in multilateralism and believes in rule-based international order. We welcome you all. Please come over, see for yourself what kind of transformation is happening there. Come invest in India. We offer a vast pool of talent and the world-renowned capabilities in IT and design. This is once in a decade opportunity for you. This is this is an opportunity which will help you grow. This is a win-win for all of us. Take advantage of our unique demographic and democratic strengths. Friends, thank you very much for inviting me here today, and special congratulations to TV9 for organizing the Global Summit in Germany, in Stuttgart here. After championing local media, now you are truly becoming global. Congratulations to you. To all my German friends, I extend a heartfelt invitation to visit India and witness the transformation, experience our curry, and experience the, I understood that something has become very popular here in Germany. Kya hai? Mango lassi. People told me that people are like, everyone is asking for mango lassi here. That's good. So this 5,000-year-old civilization welcomes you. Thank you very much. Vielen Dank. Thank you very much.